Guys, we got to get into Inglourious Basterds, which is directed by Quentin Tarantino in the year 2009, and this just holds up as a completely original moment. Just wonderful story, original kind of groundbreaking sort of ambitious storytelling. It was my favorite project Tarantino has made. I mean, from the few recent rewatches, this holds up as my absolute number one by Tarantino. It's just a perfect expression of just very unpredictable world building, where just there's often a dark comedy, like slow paced perspective, but it's often building up to a sense of brutality, and it just seems like Tarantino's really taking this kind of like Western influence and a lot of the good, the bad, the ugly influence, and just making a ridiculously ambitious kind of story that could easily be overblown. But I mean, the way Tarantino executes this is just downright on that exact level of it. It was just downright masterful in its own way. And it feels like so much of the screenplay. It feels like it's the most adventurous project he's made. But it's just so much. Because there's just plenty of different perspective and just traveling different parts of the world, and there's a lot of just close up perspective on characters in the moment. And it's a completely perfect kind of revenge cathartic sort of project with the perfect screenplay. I mean, this is one of the greatest screenplays I've ever heard in my life. Doing my favorite Tarantino. I think a lot of this holds up way better what he does. You kind of see the progression with his kind of loose trilogy, like kind of the films of like reinventing history, which he kind of continued doing throughout the rest of his filmography from starting here. Incredible foundation, ahead of its time, and it's really timeless nowadays. I look back at all of these, like this Django Unchained, Hateful Eight, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. All of these are just timeless projects, and it's offbeat perspective. It's always on the kind of awkward perspective, which is also cathartic and intense as characters are after vengeance, but it's told in a way that it's just completely epic and it's completely over the top and just original. And just getting to these really, really dark depths and just finding a way around making this just a satisfying kind of cinematic experience that completely works from start to finish. Just watch this over and over again, and it never gets old. It just has a timeless kind of entertainment value about it. It's one of my absolute, how it holds up with my favorite Brad Pitt performance. It's like you got so much going on here. All the other side characters are fantastic as well. Christoph Waltz and Diana Kruger. All these characters are so good, and it's an all-time favorite. You kind of get a lot of just intense moments in Tarantino's perspective. Very insane. It kind of has a lot of just Tarantino's trademark, just intense, slow burner, build-up moments to just a cathartic moment. And Tarantino's it's just a uniquely adventurous kind of screenplay. Like he's just kind of all over the map in a way, but he kind of manages to make this just a completely original suspense, probably just layered with suspense value. And just so many, about every scene is just a rewatchable moment. It's like he just wrote like hundreds of just perfect scenes and just combined it into this perfect kind of masterpiece. Just perfect the way that this is all depicted. And just one of Tarantino's most original moments of just dark comedy perspective on life. It's very insane. It's very out there, but it's just like he has a one-of-a-kind way around this kind of experience. It's just appreciated on the deepest layers. And always it's like, well, this is about as rooted subconsciously as a David Lynch project in so many levels. And it's just Tarantino just was on an original level. It's just that he was strongly influenced by There Will Be Blood, and when he was making this, he watched that. So he said, I think he was so stunned at the mastery of filmmaking of There Will Be Blood that he felt like he had to go out and make a film, his take on that kind of film. That's kind of what this is to Tarantino. Love that progression. And P.T. Anderson feels the same way about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And this film still through a lot of different flashbacks, a lot of different stories and perspectives, and they're all just consistently entertaining, consistently intense and suspenseful from start to finish. And the entire film just holds a timeless power about it, which it really is one that increasingly gets better with age. So this is strongly recommended from start to finish in its depiction. It's one of the best of all time.